Fair Use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. December 14th. Reaching Out. Never talk down to an alcoholic from any moral or spiritual hilltop. Simply lay out the kit of spiritual tools for his inspection. Show him how they worked with you. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 95. When I come into contact with a newcomer, do I have a tendency to look at him from my perceived angle of success in AA? Do I compare him with the large number of acquaintances I have made in the fellowship? Do I point out to him in a magisterial way the voice of AA? What is my real attitude toward him? I must examine myself whenever I meet a newcomer to make sure that I am carrying the message with simplicity, humility, and generosity. The one who still suffers from the terrible disease of alcoholism must find in me a friend who will allow him to get to know the AA way. Because I had such a friend when I arrived in AA, today it is my turn to hold out my hand with love to my sister or brother alcoholic and to show her or him the way to happiness. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, December 14th. There are many forms of loss: divorce, incarceration, illness, death, even emotional change. When I lost the person I loved more than anyone in the world, I was more than devastated, and in my grief I pushed everyone away. Thank God I had been in Al-Anon long enough to have awakened that part of myself that wanted health no matter what happened. And so, in time, I once again began to work the program. With the help of so many wonderful Al-Anon members who held me and let me grieve in my own way and time, I learned to go back to step one, to admit that I was powerless over this loss and that my life was unmanageable. Once more, I saw that the only hope for me lay with a power greater than myself. And step by step, I learned to live with loss, with pain, with despair, until eventually I began to feel alive again. Today's reminder: pain and loss are part of life. No matter what I do, I will not be able to change that fact. But with the fellowship to support me and the steps to guide me, I will be able to face and grow through anything that comes my way. There is a quote from In All Our Affairs, and it reads, "The foundation I have developed in Al-Anon not only makes me grateful when things are going well, but also makes me realize that the program works especially when things go badly." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, December 14th. Addiction, Drugs, and Recovery. Addiction is a physical, mental, and spiritual disease that affects every area of our lives. Basic text, page 20. Before we started using, most of us had a stereotype, a mental image of what addicts were supposed to look like. Some of us pictured a junkie robbing convenience markets for drug money. Others imagined a paranoid recluse peering at life from behind perpetually drawn drapes and locked doors. As long as we didn't fit any of those stereotypes, we thought we couldn't be addicts. As our using progressed, we discarded those misconceptions about addiction, only to come up with another, the idea that addiction was about drugs. We may have thought addiction meant a physical habit, believing any drug that didn't produce physical habitation wasn't addictive. Or we thought the drugs we took were causing all our problems. We thought that merely getting rid of the drugs would restore sanity to our lives. One of the most important lessons we learn in Narcotics Anonymous is that addiction is much more than the drugs we used. Addiction is part of us. It's an illness that involves every area of our lives, with or without drugs. We can see its effects on our thoughts, our feelings, and our behavior, even after we stop using. Because of this, we need a solution that works to repair every area of our lives, the 12 steps. Just for today, addiction is not a simple disease, but it has a simple solution. Today I will live in that solution, the 12 steps of recovery. Today, Emotions Anonymous, December 14th. Reflection for today. Not only am I powerless over some of the things which make my life unmanageable, but also over some things which make it manageable. For example, I am unable to alter even in the slightest my self-worth. My value as a human being is determined and fixed by God, who has made me a worthwhile person, and there is nothing I can do to change that. Nothing, however, my feelings about me and my worth do change from day to day, from moment to moment. Because that is the way it is with feelings, they change. I am powerless over my emotions, including the emotion of self-esteem. Meditation for today. Help me to accept myself today as I am, even if my self-esteem is not as high as I would like it to be. Today I will remember my value comes from God, not from anything I do or fail to do. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. December 14th. Victim. Our experience shows that we often lived as victims. BRB, page 14. Many of us have gotten very good at playing the victim, but we tell ourselves that we didn't create that role for ourselves. Wasn't it those other people and circumstances that made us a victim? Holding on to regrets and resentments is like wrapping ourselves in a blanket of thorns. Each minute of each day, we are aware of the fact that the thorns are causing us pain, and the only comfort some of us get is thinking that at least others see how we hurt. But nobody wants to live with a victim, not even a victim. How different our lives and our world would be if we could go back and undo the past. But life doesn't offer us that option. What we do get is a choice to either accept our past and work through it, or to remain a victim, letting it continue to influence who we are and what we do. When we recite the Serenity Prayer in meetings, we need to believe the words, "Accept the things I cannot change." Our past happened. As uncomfortable as it was, it can become the catalyst that helps makes us stronger. The affirmation reads, "On this day I will continue to shed the blanket of thorns I've worn as a victim and wrap myself in the soft blanket of recovery." Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, remember that you are not alone and that recovery is absolutely possible, one day at a time.